read it in the papers. I saw it on TV. I guess it'll be one empty seat when I wrestle at Wembley. I used to tear my shirt, but now you tore my heart. I knew you were a Hulkamaniac right from the very start. Right from the start, you were my friend. I'll see you again. When the Hulkster comes to heaven, 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 we'll tag up again, again, again. The world just explodes. Another Hulkamaniac, our friend to the end. I'll see you again. I wish once love could bring you back again.
I forgot about the lyrics to this song. Good Lord, that is some people may say that was in bad taste. I would agree.
I mean, that was I forgot he made that song. Oh man.
Yes, and before we continue, remember that he made it for a child who died, who actually never existed. So
I think the kid existed. Just Hogan's memory didn't.
No, the kid didn't exist. The child was a lie.
Okay.
It's funnier if I say the child's a lie. I mean, it might be real. I don't know.
I heard it was real. Hogan said it because this is the same. If this is the same song I'm thinking about, Hogan said this is the same show he did with Mr. T and Michael Jackson. If this song says Wembley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, because I think this is the story. He said that this kid, I'll never forget the kid's smell, if I remember right. Because he used to do an interview a couple years ago and said that. I'm not kidding you. My hand to God, I'm not kidding you right now.
I don't trust Hogan. Speaking of which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, as you can probably tell, Hulk Hogan is dead. I said that a little way too cheerily. No, Hulk Hogan has passed away. Yes, it is sad when he dies. Of the Jedi, but not a happy thing when someone dies. I'll start this off. I thought Hulk Hogan was a piece of shit. If there's a that it's morbid and worse than anything Hulk Hogan ever did.
Hey, Crane, time out. You might want to restart that because as soon as you said that, your internet fucked up. So I think that was a sign. And now he's frozen. Oh boy.
But yeah. I guess I'll say my part really quick. Hogan, yeah, was he a good person in real life? No, probably not. But the fucking freaks that are celebrating his death. Oh man, I was crashing out on Twitter all day today. Fuck these people.
Yeah, the backlash online, like celebrating the death, I think it's kind of morbid. Like I said, I'm with Cream. Hogan was not the greatest person in the world, but still, though, a guy died, right? And it's
a guy died who didn't commit, as far as I know, any actual crimes.
Yeah.
Oh, he politicked. Every wrestler politicked. Let's be fucking real. They all did it.
Yeah. Everyone did.
And if you're talking about in WCW, literally everybody and their mother politicked the WCW if they could.
Oh yeah, and like I said, Hogan had creative control in his contract in WWF or WCW, excuse me, and and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not gonna say Hogan was like the greatest guy in the world, but definitely Hogan took liberties when needed. But that's the thing. I mean, we can talk shit about Hogan all we want, but like I said, you can never change the fact what kind of an impact that he's had on the wrestling business. Like you can't deny it. Like the guy,
no,
when you think of professional wrestling, you think of Hulk Hogan.
Doesn't matter
Definitely.
the era.
Yeah, it
Or-
doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter any of that because, like I said, Hogan was definitely the biggest star in wrestling. Like he's big. Like he was the Elvis Presley of wrestling. You said
Two
Hulk
boom periods. Started
Yeah.
2 wrestling booms.
Yeah, and like I said, and like Hogan, like regardless what we think about him personally, still you can't not deny that the fact that Hogan took the wrestling business to new heights that wrestling never saw before. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
without Hogan being I'm not gonna say the pioneer, but because like I said, there were so many great stars before Hogan, like Bruno Sammartino, Billy Graham, stuff like that. And yeah, there was those territory days. They were still doing arena shows too. Everyone's always saying, WWF, they came up with the whole Superdome, arenas and stuff like that. No, they were doing that too. But Mid-South was doing that way before WWF was doing it. Crockett was doing it too. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things.
Yeah.
It's like revisionist history. WWE's going to say, we were first, blah, 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 right? But again, Hogan did take the wrestling business to a boom because, honestly, him doing that Rocky movie really helped his career and it really helped out wrestling too. Because
Oh
after
yeah,
that, go ahead, Trey.
I was gonna say after that, like you said, he took the wrestling world by storm, especially once we got into the 85 to basically the rest of the 80s.
Yeah.
Hogan is like Vince said in a promo, and he was right. He's a fabric of Americana, man.
Yeah.
Of pop culture. Like when you think 80s stuff, a lot of people Hogan will come up when you think about just the 80s as a thing in general.
Yeah. And I think we all should note this too. People can always say they want, like, oh, Vince came up with Hulkamania. No, Hulkamania was already a thing in the AWA. Because as soon as Hogan got done with Rocky, he went to the AWA and did his thing. Like, but basically, he was still doing the same stuff, but Vince took that idea and what was already there and made it into a global phenomenon with Hogan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, when you said anything with like in the 80s, Hogan was everywhere, man. Like you said, like Hulk Hogan, everyone knew who Hulk Hogan was. You know what I mean?
How many kids? He was a real life superhero at that time to some people.
Dude. Yeah. Yeah, he was. And it's just it's crazy to think of the impact he had on pop culture. Because I mean, him and Cyndi Lauper, him and Mr. T, stuff like that. Like I said,
Rocky 3, like he said.
Yeah, Hogan was mainstream. Like I said, you said wrestling, you said Hulk Hogan, all people automatically knew wrestling. You know what I mean?
How many commercials he was in at that time?
Oh yeah. After the twilight of his career, he started to get in the movies, and I'm not going to sugarcoat those. Those movies suck.
Yeah, yeah, his movies were not good. we can't, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and try to act like No Holds Barred's a great movie. No, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Oh,
Suburban
dude.
Commando's fine. It's like 80s fun, but it's not objectively good.
Yeah, Suburban Commando. Let's see what else he did. Suburban Commando. Like you said, No Holds Barred. That's a terrible
that Santa movie he did. Santa with muscles. Oh, that was
Santa
terrible,
Muscles,
dude. Oh, that was
Mr. Nanny. Remember Mr. Nanny?
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Oh boy. What else is the other one he did? Thunder in Paradise, even though I never watched it.
Oh, those movies. Those were when he was in WCW.
Yeah,
it was weird. He was a heel, but they would have him be a superhero still in movies at the time. Like he would still be the hero, and I'm like, it was weird because he was a heel at the time because he was full on NWO, Wolf Pack.
Yeah, he did the movie Three Ninjas.
Oh yeah, Three Ninjas. Yeah.
Yeah, the amusement park movie. I can't remember what it's called offhand, but it was Three Ninjas something. It was a High Noon at Megan Mountain. Was that what it's called?
Some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Three Ninjas in the chat. Mr. Texas got it too. Like I said, it's just like I said, Hogan was everywhere. Like, people were, were pretty much done with Hogan in the early 90s, but still, like, you can't deny it. Like, he was still a big star. Like, he was still a big name.
And, well, I mean, I guess we can jump ahead to when he went to WCW in Bash at the Beach 96, which created the second wrestling boom when he joined the NWO. Switch to the black and white. I mean, 2 iconic themes.
Oh,
Real
yeah.
American and then Voodoo Child.
Yeah, but we can't gloss over the fact, Trey, about the whole Jimmy Hart one. What was it? American made Hulk Hogan. Who that theme song
Oh
he had
yeah,
in WCW
I like.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't mind that theme.
Yeah.
But like when he switched to that black and white, man, WWE had to invest in Rock Austin, and in a way, Hogan, in a way, not necessarily created those guys, but he is what pushed Vince to start pushing new talent. Because when Hogan did the NWO thing, NWO basically won the Monday Night Wars for a while there.
Oh yeah, and too, like going back to WWF days, like Hogan and Andre did big business back in the day.
Yeah,
man.
Hogan and Andre, not my favorite in-ring match, but that's one of those
No.
matches that's
But it's iconic. That that whole match, though, it's not like a athletic masterpiece. It's not like Ricky Steamboat and Savage that night. It's
No.
definitely nothing like that. But Hogan and Andre, man, and if the crowd's true, I always hear people say, there was no 93,000 people. There was only 88,000 or whatever the case may be, right? So we never know. We're never gonna know the true number. But
no.
Hogan body slamming Andre was iconic. Even though Hogan did it before in the early 80s, and so did many other people did too. But still, though, the way that they built that whole thing up, Hogan body slams Andre, runs off the ropes, hits the big leg, 1, 2, 3, done. And it's an iconic moment for the WWE.
It's still played today. Like it's still played today.
Yep.
Yeah, and even just their face off, like at the start of the match, is iconic when they're just staring at each other.
Oh, the stare down. Yeah, Hogan just like, and that whole build up, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so like iconic because like they did like the first ever Saturday Night's Main Event, I believe. No, not the first one, but it's like one of the earlier ones of Saturday Night's Main Event. Hogan and Andre, they drew 3 million viewers at the time on Saturday Night's Main Event. I think it was the highest rating episode for Saturday Night's Main Event, honestly. And that's when they do the whole the double twin stuff with Earl Hebner and Dave Hebner. The whole twins of the $1 Million Man's like, oh yeah, he paid, how much money was the plastic surgery's brother to get the referee Jack? It's like I said, those promos too, and I think his greatest rival in WWE, and people can say what they want, it's Roddy Piper. Without Roddy Piper, oh my God, there is not a Hulk Hogan at all.
Yeah, Roddy Piper sold him. It was a perfect foil to Hogan at the time.
Yeah. And, he was his Joker to his Batman.
Yeah. And then you had the Macho feud, which was really good too.
Yeah, Macho. Probably his best match in WWE, probably has to be the match against him in Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6.
Yeah, that's an iconic one.
I think both those matches are, icon. I mean, it's definitely Warrior's best match. Like I said, it's arguable, Hogan's best too. The way that match is laid out, it's really good.
The story was good. It's probably one of the best examples of two top baby faces.
Yeah.
And not because they didn't turn either of them after the match. Hogan lost the match.
Yeah. And I know some people probably are watching this either on replay or watching live, and they were going to shit on Hogan. But trust me, Trey, me, and Cream, Cream will be here back in a minute. He's having internet issues right now. We've all said it. Regardless of what you think about Hogan, he is definitely the biggest star that wrestling has ever produced. I think. Like I said, you think of Hogan's always going to be associated with wrestling. Doesn't matter. You can try hide the fact and like, oh no, he's not. Blah blah blah. Nah, Hogan is definitely a part of wrestling. He is interlaid with that, and he always will be. Like I said, and it sucks that the way he passed. Like I said, if it's true what the reports are, if people don't know, Hulk Hogan died of cardiac arrest. That's what's being reported. We don't really. I heard the 911 tapes, but there's no autopsy or anything like that right now. Like literally, that just happened like a few hours ago. So that they're not going to have that anytime soon. But it's still mind-boggling because, like I said, last month they were talking about this because I remember telling you and Cream, privately because should we talk about it, should we not? Bubba the Love Sponge, which, by the way, Bubba the Love Sponge, man, what a piece of shit human being.
Yeah, fuck
I,
him.
I
Fuck
don't
him.
care. Like I said,
He's
but the
why
whole,
Awesome Kong left TNA. By the way,
that too, and he was the reason why the whole sex tape happened. He filmed it in his house and stuff like that, and gave his wife permission to sleep with Hulk Hogan. If you didn't know that story, yeah, it's pretty fucked up because this is when Hogan was pretty much going through his divorce. He was pretty much hitting the bottle. I don't think we can say it on YouTube, so I'm not going to. But he was very much contemplating self-deletion at one point during his time. So, like I said, he was in a really dark fucking place. And plus, he lost all of his money with Linda. I mean, Linda freaking took him to the cleaners, dude. Holy crap. When they divorced. But yeah, Bubba, the Bubba Love Sponge reported this last month, and he's like, yeah, there's rumors that Hogan's on his deathbed, stuff like that. He's like, people close to Hogan has told me this, blah blah blah. Yeah, I always dismissed it because, like I said, I don't. It's kind of weird that the guy that freaking calls all the shit for Hogan is the same guy trying to grift off him saying he's, dead too, right?
Yeah.
Before it even happened.
And I mean, like what he did in WCW, like that moment when he turned and joined the NWO is iconic. That's like still the best heel turn of all time.
Oh, it's the best.
I don't care.
It's the best heel turn in any period of wrestling. It's the best one. It's the best one. And that's the thing too. Hogan, like you said, Trey, Hogan changed a lot of things in the 90s. Without Hogan dropping that leg, the attitude era kicked off when Hogan turned heel. People can say what they want, but that's when it really kicked off right there.
Oh yeah, because that's when Vince was like, okay, we got to start investing on newer guys. Austin, Rock, eventually Triple H. Yeah. The tone of the show shifted. That's when Vince obviously became the Vince character in later 97.
Yeah.
And I mean, when he was, and then Voodoo Child coming out with the NWO entrances, which are just iconic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, I'll admit, not all of his WCW feeds are great. I'll just be honest. The actual feuds, they were not.
Trey, the early ones against Dungeon of Doom.
Oh, the Big Show.
Yeah,
Monster.
The giant feud. Yeah, that's not good. And going back to Mr. Texter in the chat, he's saying Sergeant Slaughter and Hogan's feud in the early 90s in WWF. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, the feud itself was good. The match.
It's okay. Yeah, we can say that for a lot of Hogan matches. Like I said, Hogan was never the greatest worker in the world, but he had to work his style.
His best WCW feud would you say was Sting? That whole year build.
Until they
fucked the finish. They fucked the finish. But
allegedly, Hogan told Nick Patrick, the referee, don't do a fast count, do a regular count. And that came out of Nick Patrick's own mouth. He said that. Nick Patrick said earlier in the day, Hogan came up to him and said, yeah, don't do it a fast count, do a regular count. And it's just, like I said, Hogan definitely politicked. He definitely was a politician. He knew what he was doing. And he was the greatest chess player of all time. I mean, I'm not going to lie about it because, look how many years he was on top, regardless of what you think about the guy. He was on top for many years from playing politics.
Even when he came back to WWE 02, what did they do? They had him going, probably, in my opinion, one of the greatest, Mania matches of all time with The Rock, which was supposed to be Austin originally.
Yeah. Oh, God, the finger poke of doom. Yeah, Jack's bringing
the finger poke. Oh, yeah, the finger poke of doom. Yeah.
That's not, but.
Yes.
But, again, that was WCW. And like I said, and Nash was booking, which I kind of understand what Nash was trying to go for. But still, though, it's like, no, dude, this is bad. Why?
And then, Hogan coming back to WWE and the pop he got. Unfortunately, they tried the NWO thing and it just didn't work because people don't want to boo Hogan at that point.
Well, and plus they waited too long. Like these guys should have been there for the invasion angle, but of course that didn't pan out. And we all know how that goes down in history books. But
yeah, and no one wanted NWO in 2002.
No,
I think that was what.
I think people wanted. I don't think they wanted to come in, but I think they wanted them to feud against DX when all of them can go. You know,
Yeah.
you still had Triple H at the time. You had
Shawn was about to come back.
yeah, Shawn probably would have came back earlier if the paydays were good. Like, you know, he would have probably came back for that. You know, Hall and Nash would have been like, you know, they would have been still ready to go. I know Nash was facing his own personal demons at the time, but still, though, it's like
Yeah.
those guys should have showed up for the Attitude Era, and here we are, you know, going into 2002, and it's like we kind of missed the boat here, guys. These guys should have been here 6 months
And
ago.
then and after the Rock Hogan match, Vince had no choice but to turn Hogan face.
Yeah,
And that first time when he came out in the black and the yellow and red again,
yeah.
oh, that pop, one of the greatest pops ever.
Oh yeah, I was gonna play that clip before we started the show, but I'm like, you know what? If I do that, we'll probably get claims. So it's like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. But if you've not seen it, go look it up on YouTube and look it up on Twitter. It's an amazing atmosphere, and plus his match against The Rock. And going back to what Jack said, real quick in the chat, we'll move on to back to that match. Is let's not forget the whole politician thing. How you know the Shawn Michaels match was supposed to be a trilogy, and Hogan's like,
Yeah.
no, we're just gonna do the one. It's
Yeah.
one and done in SummerSlam, and Shawn's like, all right, well,
I'm gonna
tank this.
I'm gonna tank
match.
this.
I'll
Yeah.
take it. Fuck
Yeah.
it. I've been doing all the work already, so fuck it.
Yeah, I remember that. That was yeah.
Shawn, yeah, and Shawn was bumping his ass in that match too. Even though
He's
it was overselling shit, but it was still like, yeah.
yeah.
He's like, fuck you. You want me to be all cartoony, 1985?
I'm gonna make
All
it
right.
cartoony. I'm gonna make
Yep,
it
I'll do
cartoony.
it.
And
I'll do
Shawn
it.
tries to defend it, like, hey man, I was just being a heel who's over, you know, that's how they were back then. I'm like, come on, Shawn. Come on.
Well, you
Come
know,
on.
the thing is, they were, but like I said, Shawn was doing all the work. Shawn was doing all the promos. Hogan only showed up like what a couple times during that feud on TV.
Mhm.
He was doing the whole Larry King thing and crap like that.
Yep. And the Bret Hart thing.
Oh God, yeah. Who's your daddy, Montreal? But yeah, but like going back to like Hogan, like when he came back and did that match against The Rock, my God, that atmosphere
That
for
crowd
Hogan. Oh my
is
God.
incredible.
Yeah.
To where they had to turn Hogan face right after. And then when he came back in the red and yellow, even Triple H had to smile at
Yeah.
that.
Oh, dude, Hogan, when he came back and fought The Rock, legit, if no one's seen that match, go look it up it's on the WWE Vault channel, I think, or it's one on the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
The
it's
YouTube
just
channel.
look it up. It's on there. Like it was
Yeah,
around like WrestleMania time they released it.
Yeah, it was WrestleMania 18, Skydome, Toronto, Canada, and that match they did. The atmosphere for that, the crowd itself was just amazing. But you know, when Hogan and The Rock locked up, and Hogan, you know, they're doing the collar and elbow tie up, and all of a sudden Hogan just pushes off The Rock like he was nothing, and did the double by, and then did the pose, and they told him to come bring it and kiss his ass. That place erupted. That's one of the loudest interactions and reactions I've ever heard in a wrestling crowd.
And Hogan's supposed to be a heel. He had to switch up, and he started doing the ear thing again. He was actually doing a lot of his old babyface stuff. I was like, wow.
Those fans turned him face that night. He's like, no, we're not booing Hulk Hogan. We're not doing it. Last time he was here, he was a babyface, and by God, we ain't booing Hulk Hogan. Fuck the Rock.
Most of the crowd, at least to WWF crowds, they probably didn't know him as NWO Hogan, really.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess not. I guess it just depends. But, you know, like I said, though, Hogan's a big star. In the match we really should have gotten Austin versus Hogan.
Yeah.
That's the match that would have been just
Battle of the two generations. Yeah, that's a box office match, Battle of the Generations, but it was just neither guy wanted to apparently
do the job.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Austin would have mind, but I heard Austin say before, well, if Hogan don't want to do a job, well, I'm not going to do a job, and I don't blame Austin for that.
No,
if Hogan's not going to do business, fuck him. I'm not going to put him over. He didn't, we can make some money off this shit. And like I said, this whole thing came out of nowhere because honestly, too, we forgot to mention, Hogan's freestyle wrestling thing starts like what? In a couple of weeks in Cleveland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were talking about that, but his whole freestyle wrestling thing and what's going to happen with that now?
Real American beer.
Yeah. What's going to happen with that?
Yeah. Like I said, and then it's just like this whole thing came out of the blue. I heard some people say that he had a neck surgery and it damaged his vocal cords. I don't know. I just literally saw a video like not even an hour ago, him like doing his last interview. So who knows what's true or what's not. But you know, it's very shocking as a wrestling fan for me. Like, you know, Hogan's the reason why I started watching wrestling because I watched wrestling. Well, I knew Hulk Hogan, I knew who Hulk Hogan was before I knew what wrestling was. Right? Does that make sense?
A lot of people did. I bet they knew
Yeah, because
who
I
Hulk
watched
Hogan.
I watched Rocky 3 as a kid, and I'm like, oh, this guy's cool. And I started watching all those like we said, the Suburban Commando movies and Mr. Nanny and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I have Mr. Nanny on VHS somewhere in my house, but it's mind-boggling that the guy's gone. Like, really, Hogan was pretty much one of the staples of the 80s, and plus for the WWF. Think about the people that's already gone from his era, like Roddy Piper, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, Iron Sheik, Andre, stuff like that. And it's nuts, dude. It's like, oh my God. Like, really, Flair's the only one from that time period, and Arn Anderson and some few others that are like, they're still kicking it. But it's like, Hogan was the main guy of the 80s. Like I said, you think about the 80s and you think about wrestling, you think about Hogan. And it's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
Hogan was the prototypical wrestler too. Like, he's what you think.
Yeah, like, he's pretty much the
what a wrestler is.
Yeah, he was pretty much the formula of success that they had for years with John Cena.
John Cena, even Cody, a little bit.
Yeah, less is more.
That carried over from Cena.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just it's really crazy to think how he's gone. Hogan's one of those guys you don't think of. He was still young too. Everyone's like, oh, he was 71. He had a good life. Like 71, still young. And Hogan,
that's young. That's not that old. Yeah.
And Hogan beat the kind of the stereotypical like, oh, wrestlers die when they're 65, thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's sad that unfortunately his last appearance at a WWE show was getting booed in LA.
Yeah, even though he said that he was never. That was the first time he was booed since 2002. Excuse me, 2002. Like, no, you were here in 2005. Did we not forget you saved Eugene? But all right.
Mm-hmm.
But also, we can't gloss over the fact with the whole TNA stuff too. TNA didn't work out at all. Oh, God.
That did not work. That was a shit show.
Dude. Oh, bro.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything about I can't think of anything but Hogan when TNA honestly positive. Besides maybe the Sting and Hogan match they had. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm with you. I can't think of anything positive.
Like, because he came in like the first night. Remember the whole thing I did for TNA? Like, he showed up and everyone and their fucking brothers showed up, and it was like a rehash of WCW. It's the only thing it was.
Yeah.
Rehash of WCW. Then the first pay-per-view was Genesis of that year. And what was the first thing Hogan and Bischoff did? They changed the ring from the 6 sides to the 4 sides. And the very first thing that Hogan said during the promo, because fans were pissed, well, we have a wrestling ring now that doesn't look like a stinking playpen. And he was like straight up shooting like a heel in that segment. I'm like,
yeah, he wasn't supposed to be a heel.
Yeah, I'm like, and you're supposed to be the fucking baby face. The fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like I said, he did a lot. Like I said, Hogan did a lot of good and also did a lot of bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said though, it's his TNA run was not good. I think a lot of people try to forget that run. I can't, because I watched that time period, and God, that's one of the reasons why they got kicked off of Spike TV. Because
I mean, that shot of Dixie Carter holding Hogan's leg before going back to WWE, that was.
Yeah. Well, it's because 2 things. She couldn't afford his contract, and plus Spike TV wasn't going to help. So like, no. Yeah. He's like, well, I'm going to go. And you think about that. They gave him a lot of creative control. And he only came back and let's just be real. Hogan came back just because he needed the money. Let's not sugarcoat it. He did. He needed the money to come back. And then when the whole lawsuit came, with the whole sex tape, he sued them, won that money. But his big
Yeah.
loss, that was his big lawsuit. He won he won millions upon millions of dollars on that lawsuit. And plus, the whole racist comments did not help matters either. That tape didn't help matters. I'm not gonna say Hulk Hogan was a racist. Like I said,
Me either.
I'm not making excuses that he isn't or wasn't. I just know that was being reported at the time that he was in a dark place. And I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just saying, in his mindset, like, oh, I was in a dark place, brother, and stuff like that. And I'm sorry for, he never really said I'm sorry for what I said, because the first thing he said back when he came back to WWE was like, yeah, make sure you know who you're talking to, brother. Make sure you know who you're talking to, because everyone's got a camera and they can record you. And I'm just like, whew, that does not go over well at all. I went over like a fart in church.
Yeah.
It just didn't help matters. Like I said, trying to think what I was going to say here. I don't think Hogan's a racist. I think he made some stupid ass comments. I'm not going to lie about that. But him to say like he's just a full fledged racist, like, oh, he all black people and stuff like that. Like he was.
No, I don't believe that. No.
Well, what do you think, Trey? You're black. I mean, what's your thought process on that?
I never, to be honest with you, I never cared about the whole N-word thing. I never did. It was just like, okay, he said something stupid. It was like it's like the Mel Gibson thing for me. It's like, oh, he was in a bad place, said something stupid. Probably necessarily didn't mean it. Your head's mindset's fucked up. I mean, yeah, we could talk about, like, obviously, like, there's a whole video out there, infamous video that goes over his lies, basically everything. And obviously those are lies, but I'm not going to use those against him now since he's dead. It's like, at the end of the day, some of the lies are just like exaggerated stories. There's some really fucked up ones. Like when he said, like, I was in Metallica, I'm like, dude. That's like,
yeah, I was gonna be the guitarist, brother, before I was gonna be the guitarist before that one guy joined, brother. It's like, dude, what are you talking about?
I'm like, oh, I wrestled 400 days one year. I'm like, there's not 400 days in a year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, between him and Japan and stuff like that. Oh man, the lies. Like I said, we're not gonna sit here. He didn't lie, because, like I said, Hogan was a bullshit liar. Like
he was
terrible. He was terrible. But here's the thing, though. You know what? Someone told me a long time ago. It's not a lie if I think it's the truth. And sadly, to a certain point of view, yeah,
he believed it. He believed it at a point. Like, Andre was 900 pounds, brother. I think he said that one point. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
he wouldn't be alive.
Yeah, I'm like, if he's 1,000 pounds, bro. Like, you think about people 1,000 pounds. It's like those people from TLC. Like, they can't get out of bed. They need a forklift to get out. That's 1,000 pounds. But like I said, Andre was a big guy, but he was not a 900 pounds. My God. And he was like, what was the one lie he said? He told people,
oh, Pride. He started Pride. Didn't even know Pride. He's like, I was in Pride in like the 80s or something. But Pride did.
Yeah. He was in Pride or Prime. Yeah, Pride. And he's like talking about that. Also, he said that he was, oh God, what was the one he just came up with a couple months ago? Someone was doing
Mr. Tex, I actually think the Foreman Grill thing was real. He just was dumb and didn't jump on
Bischoff confirmed that was a real thing, because apparently Bischoff, they called Bischoff and WCW before they called Hogan, apparently. So Bischoff claimed that was real too. But my thing is also, what was that one lie he told? Oh God, there's so many lies. I'm trying to think. I can't.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, dude. The Wembley thing.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's probably the worst one in my opinion. But
yeah, that one from a couple years ago. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, he said, I'll never forget that kid's smell. I'm like, and that's what I think with the video Cream was playing was that song. I think that was the song he dedicated to the kid, because that's a song like he's told everyone, was like, yeah, I was with Michael Jackson and Mr. T in the 90s at Wembley. I'm like, Dude, the WWF didn't go to the friggin' Wembley Stadium until '92 for
Yeah,
summer,
92.
and
And
you were
Hogan,
already
you weren't.
gone.
Yeah, you were gone basically.
Yeah, you were gone. Like you took a hiatus, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good lord. But yeah, like uh, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Hogan, but the whole
Oh, remember he
one
said he found Kevin Owens. He found Kevin Owens.
found Kevin Owens. Then he said he found
Brock
uh
Lesnar, I think.
Hiro Matsuda. That's the story. So people don't know Hiro Matsuda trained Hulk Hogan, and Hiro Matsuda was a legit tough son of a bitch in real life. Like he would stretch people to show if they're willing to come back and stuff like that. Hiro Matsuda was a guy in the Florida territory, I believe. But Hogan told everyone for years, like, yeah, Hiro Matsuda, first day of training when I came into the wrestling business, he came in there and I came in the ring and he broke my leg. And a lot of people were there. Gerald Briscoe was there. Gerald Briscoe's not a liar, so he's gonna tell the truth. But then last year when he was on, was the Pat McAfee show or Joe Rogan? It was one of the
It was
podcasts.
one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he told everyone, he's like, yeah. So he's like, or it might have been Logan Paul's podcast too. I can't remember, but he talked and said, yeah, there was a guy who's going to be the choreographer for the Rocky fight, and he trained me. And he's like, it's basically, I told Stallone, I was like, yeah, I don't need him, brother. I don't need him at all. I got this. I'll do my own choreograph and blah, blah, blah. He said, yeah, and this guy trained me. And I'm just like, Hiro Matsuda wasn't part of the fucking movie. And like I said,
No.
every lie, he always changed, like, with the times. But yeah, like I said, there's too many lies. And he told me when he was going to be a pitcher for the New York, he's like, he had teams looking for him, like when he was in high school, when he was the New York Yankees was looking at him, the Cincinnati Reds were looking for him to be a pitcher. I'm just like, dude,
But
why?
but the people using this to just shit on the man, acting like, I'm gonna say it, he pulled a Benoit.
Yeah.
When some of these same fuckers will defend Benoit because, oh, he's real graps, yo.
Yeah. Yeah, and I see a lot of people on Twitter celebrating this death. If you're celebrating this death, you are really a piece of shit human being. I'm not gonna lie.
You're a fucking foul fuck. And I've been going off on Twitter. I'm not gonna say it here because a lot of it was I'll
go
just
fuck
say,
yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, just I'll just say that. Go fuck yourselves,
Just it's sickening to me. Like I said, celebrating someone's death. I hate, like we were talking about before the stream starts. I can't stand Vince Russo. I think he's a fucking idiot. But I'm not going to celebrate the guy's death. You know what I mean? If he does pass away,
He didn't do anything illegal. He's just a retard.
Yeah, he's just an idiot, basically.
Yeah.
And Hogan, like I said, we don't, we're not going to say he was some PDF file or anything like that. Yeah, he said some really stupid shit.
He said stupid shit. That's it. But don't like lumping him, celebrating his death like he's Chris Benoit or fucking who's Jake the Snake Roberts' dad.
Grizzly Smith.
Yeah. He is not that. Those are the type of people, you celebrate their death. Or Fabulous Moolah. He didn't do that. As far as I know, he just politicked, which every wrestler did, by the way, especially at WCW. They all did it.
And especially those guys in WWE, like, they always said, there would always be three separate teams of house shows. You had your A team, your B team, and your C team. And everyone wanted to be a part of the A team because if you were on Hogan's card, you got a significant amount of money for those shows.
Yeah.
And Hogan famously said, yeah, brother. He said, I did a match like intermission. He's like, I was I ordered room service before the match was even over with, whoever I was wrestling with. And like I said, and Hogan was a master manipulator of people in the ring. Like I said, I'm not going to say he's the greatest worker of all time, but like I said, he knew how to work the American style to his advantage and made millions. You know what I mean? The guy had 5 moves in WWF. Let's think about it. The ear cup, the pose, the leg drop, and the big boot. That's it.
Yep. And he always, he made ripping a shirt iconic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And vitamins and say your prayers, like all these iconic quotes that are still said today.
And plus, too, a lot of people won't give him credit neither, I don't think, and which they should, is the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik
Oh, Iron
really,
Sheik. Yeah.
yeah, Iron Sheik really put Hogan on the map against his match at January 23rd. I think it's 24th. I'm not sure. I think it's January 24th, 1984. I think that's what it was. That's when Hulkamania started. When he came in there and fought Iron Sheik for the WWF title, that was huge. That place erupted at the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't know that too. Hogan got fired from the WWF, not from Vince McMahon Jr. or Vince McMahon, that we know, but Vince McMahon Sr. hired Hogan. Yeah.
Because of Rocky 3.
Rocky 3, he's like, yeah, I don't want my guys doing movies. It exposes the business. Either you're a wrestler or not. So he got fired from WWF or the WWF, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, got fired from Vince McMahon Sr. and then went to go do the Rocky movie. Then after the Rocky movie, Hogan went to the AWA for Vern Gagne up there in Minnesota doing stupid numbers. Like he was wrestling against Nick Bockwinkel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, Vern Gagne tried to position Hogan to be the big star because, they were on I don't know if they're on ESPN yet, but they were starting to get there or whatever. But Vern Gagne tried to push Hogan to be the guy of the AWA. Then Vince McMahon got a whiff of it, Vince Jr. And he's like, well, we're going to bring you back to New York.
We're going to bring you back, pal.
Yeah, that's when they did. They brought him back, and the rest is history, honestly.
The stuff with Mr. T. I mean, yeah, went through like a lot of his career. Even his return in 2002, the dude had the match with fucking Rock. Had a little fun match with Flair, even on Raw.
Well, honestly, too, we can't forget about the whole classic line from Rocky 3. Ha ha ha! It's the amazing superstar versus the meatball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact quote. I remember it was meatball. Have no fear, Thunder Lips is here in the flesh, baby. All the chicks, and I'll never forget that in Rocky 3 when Rocky and Paulie's in the ring and Mick, and you got Paulie like, why are they carrying him to the ring? And you got Mick's like, he's walking. Just that's that whole fight's pretty good too. Like that's an iconic scene of Rocky 3.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Hogan telling Stallone like, I'm gonna break you in half, meatball. Just
yeah.
Just the stupidest shit in that movie, man. It's like, oh my god.
I do love how in 2002 he decided he blended his NWO character with his old gimmick. I like the red and yellow, but he still basically wore the NWO gear, but it was just red and yellow. Still came out of Voodoo Child.
Yep.
The way he put over Lesnar too that year was he made Lesnar look like a monster, dude.
Oh yeah. Yep. I definitely agree about that. Brock just manhandled him. And plus we can't remember the one Brock meme from a couple years ago was Hogan's birthday.
Oh yeah.
And it was on Raw in front of God and everybody. And Hogan's celebrating the ring. They're celebrating his birthday. Brock Lesnar comes out, literally just looks at Hogan and says, "Party's over, Grandpa."
Over, Grandpa. It was literally before he's about to suplex Cena 16 times. That's
yeah. And Hogan's face is like, "What'd you say, brother?" I was like, "Oh
yeah.
shit!"
Even when Hogan came back in 2014, he got a pop, and this is old Hogan.
Yeah. And granted, this is way before the whole tape came out too. So
yeah.
But Trey, we're not gonna wind down just yet. But what's your favorite Hulk Hogan memory? Like, what do you got? Like as a match, like a moment.
If there's a couple, like Rock Hogan 18 is one I vividly remember.
Yeah.
Obviously I wasn't there, but I will say this is my favorite moment. It's Bash at Beach. I just think that's so iconic. That leg drop, Bobby's call for it too.
Yeah, the one that kind of sort of
spoiled it. Yeah, you kind of spoiled it, but
Is he the third man? It's like everyone's like, you got Death like, go get him, Hulkster, go get him, baby, go get him, Hulkster, and all of a sudden it just. And you got, I'll never forget that freaking clip from Dusty. He's like, what the hell?
what the hell? When he did the leg drop on Savage, it's like,
Oh,
and then they were throwing beer, and then
yeah, dude. Yeah, P-Dub in the chat. I met Hulk Hogan. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, P-Dub, elaborate if you want. We'll highlight it again. How did you meet Hulk Hogan? And that goes for chat too. What was your guys' first memory of Hogan? I'll tell you my first memory of Hogan. Like I said, it was Rocky 3.
Rocky 3,
Yeah. Thunder Lips is here, baby, in the flesh. I remember like watching. I was like, this guy's freaking cool. Like,
yeah.
You know, like I said, then I learned more about wrestling and about Hogan and stuff like that. And but my favorite wrestling memory has got, it's so stupid because like there's been so many moments of Hogan, but it's like it's special to me, right?
Yeah.
It's probably 2005 WrestleMania 21 when he comes out and makes a save for Eugene. That place at Staples Center went nuts.
Yeah, that pop was damn near on par with that one where he brought back the red and yellow. Like that crowd went crazy.
Yeah, dude. And it's just like you got, this is during the whole Iraq war. You had Muhammad Hassan playing up to the fact, he was an Iraqi character, right?
Yeah.
And, they got him in the camel clutch, and you got Davari just talking Arabic to him, I believe. I think that's what the language is. Excuse me if I'm wrong. But he goes in there and just, he's saying that stuff. He's like, da, 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 da. And all of a sudden, you just hear the guitar riff like, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, he brought back Real American, not Voodoo Child, which I like. But
and that place, dude, erupted. And plus, the night before, he got inducted to the Hall of Fame, too.
Yeah.
And like I said, he just went, he's doing the whole Hogan spiel. I wish I could show the clip, but I can't. I'm not doing it justice enough. Like I said, if you can find it, just type in Hulk Hogan saves Eugene on YouTube. It should come up. Or you have the Peacock. Look it up too. Like I said, Hogan just comes in there and makes a save, and just like starts hulking up, and he's cleaning house and stuff like that, doing the pose down stuff. But one of the other memories I have too of Hogan in wrestling is how he's comes out there and saves Macho Man against $1 Million Man and Andre at WrestleMania 4.
Yeah. Another one I have. Remember his feud with The Rock, but the second one when Rock went Hollywood?
Yeah, 2003.
I didn't mind that. Now setting up the Vince match.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that. The roles were reversed. It was basically Hollywood Hogan versus Hollywood Rock.
Like, yeah.
It's like, and Hogan, I'll never forget that one segment too they had on SmackDown. He's like, Rock's making fun of Hogan. He's like, "What you gonna do?"
He's like, "Can you get to that part, please?" It's like, oh man, he did roast Hogan hard there, but the match was fun. And I actually love the Vince Hogan feud. I loved it because on paper it made sense. Vince had a lot of vitriol with Hogan at the time. I mean, this is the dude who, in his mind, tried to kill my company.
Yeah. Oh, P-Dub right here is like, yeah, I met Hogan during the promotional stuff of Thunder in Paradise.
Nice.
Yeah, that was if I remember right, that was a TV show, I believe.
It was a TV show that became a movie because there's a couple movies.
Yeah. Going back to Mr. Tex, the backstory between Sean and Terry's business. Well, he wants you to be the heel. He doesn't want to do the good guy versus good guy thing. He wants to do the classic heel versus babyface. He wants you to be like Shawn Michaels from '98. Like, it's just
apparently Sean didn't like playing that because that was obviously when he's on his drugs and stuff.
Well, that too. It's like, you guys said he was the biggest asshole when he was doing that shit, and here you guys, here you are now. What, 5-6 years later? I'm a different person, quote unquote. And you guys want me to go, you guys want me to go back to be that person? What?
And then I think he liked being a babyface too. It was like, why do I gotta be bad now? It wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, literally, they turned him back babyface. He feuded with Chris Masters. Like, all right, we'll forget with the whole Hogan thing.
Yeah, they just scrapped it like immediately after the match. Sean went back to being a babyface. That was it.
Yep. But yeah, going back to going back to that real quick. Excuse me. Like I said, that was my favorite moments. But my favorite Hogan match has got to be Rock and Hogan at WrestleMania 18.
That's probably mine too.
Excuse me.
Just that the shot of them staring at each other. That's my memory of that. It was them just staring at each other, and the crowd just going crazy.
Yeah, like I said, the pose down, the whole match itself. The Rock, hitting the Rock bottom on Hogan. Hogan was doing some heel shit too. Like he hit the Rock on a low blow. Fans were cheering for it.
He was whipping him with the belt, and the crowd was still popping.
Yeah, and the Rock came in there and hit him with the Rock bottom, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. He hits the Rock bottom on Hogan. 1, 2, the kick out. Hogan pops up, looks at Rock, starts doing the hulking up thing, like starts shaking the blonde hair, like he's just ready to go, like you son of a bitch, like he's just getting pissed off, and the Rock's like, you gotta be shitting me. And all of a sudden, like he's punching Hogan, Hogan's still hulking up, and the last shot, the Rock goes in there, looks at his hand, and does the whole spit thing, like with his hand, like before he makes a fist.
Yeah,
he does that, and Hogan does the whole you, and just like Hogan, he's going for another punch, and the Rock, Hogan's just like boom, 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 and the Rock's on the ropes. He just goes and does the Irish whip, hits the big boot. And all of a sudden, he's like clapping his hands, like telling the fans, like doing the whole ear cup thing, like
the ear cup thing. Yeah, it's like wow, he's going full on old school Hogan. Because when he was a heel in WCW, he would do it, but it was obviously mockingly.
Which, by the way, I gotta call it out. He stole that from Superstar. Oh my God, I said his name.
Was it Billy Graham? Was it Billy Graham?
No, it wasn't Billy Graham. It was the guy from Memphis, Austin Idol. That's the guy, Austin Idol. Idol did that thing, and of course Hogan was there at that time because Hogan was in Memphis too, which was Jeff Jarrett's dad, Jerry Jarrett's promotion, and Jerry Lawler's promotion, Memphis Wrestling. But yeah, like I said, Hogan stole a lot of stuff too, like the whole. Going back to we'll go back to that too real quick, but the whole wag of the finger, like the spot where the hope spot when Piper, someone would give him like in a choke and in a rear naked choke or a sleeper, Hogan just be like dead, dead, the referee grabbed the arm, like the whole classic 1, 2. Before the third arm dropped, he caught himself, did the whole finger wag, and like start hulking up too, doing the whole Hogan comeback.
Yeah,
he stole that from Dusty. He stole that from Dusty Rhodes. He stole the ear cup from Austin Idol. But again, wrestling people take from each other all the time and put their own twist on it and stuff like that. But but going back to that match is so good. I highly recommend to go watch it.
And it was like the first time he was doing the ear cups for like as a babyface, because he would do it in WCW, but it was usually mocking the crowd generally when he do it.
Yeah, the only time he did the whole ear cup thing is when he turned him back face in the late 90s when WCW was about to go out of business.
Yeah.
He came back wearing the whole banana hammock trunks.
It did not work.
No.
It did not work.
I think we can't gloss over the fact, him coming into WCW too. We talked about it a little bit, but going back to WCW.
The Giant.
Well, that too, but like the beginning stuff, him and Flair did a massive number at Bash at the Beach '94 because there were some big stars that show. Shaquille O'Neal was just starting in the NBA, playing for the Orlando Magic, and they were in Orlando too. It was Flair and Hogan, and it still boggles my mind that we never got Flair versus Hogan at a WrestleMania.
Yeah, we got it on a Raw in 02.
Yeah, in WWE. Yeah, but WCW really capitalized that stuff, man. They really, they capitalized Hogan versus.
They should have did it at 8, WrestleMania 8 instead of Sid. It's my RIP Sid, but it should have been Ric Flair and Hogan at 8, not him and Sid.
Yep, and also too, Hogan like I said, we talked about we talked about Austin. We talked about you know like you just said about Flair. The one match I think probably would have been interesting, a really interesting, really would have been John Cena versus Hogan in his prime
Mhm. Like
in
if
the
they
early
did this like
2000s.
if they maybe if they instead of doing him and Orton at SummerSlam '06, they did Cena and Hogan.
Yeah,
I think that would have worked. Granted, in my mind, he turned Cena heel after beating him, but that's just
yeah.
me.
Well, there was talks. Man, I got something in my throat. I apologize. I keep on coughing into the mic and stuff. I can't help it. It's coming up randomly. um, what the rumor I heard was Hogan wanted to do a match between Cena and him at WrestleMania 24 in Orlando.
Oh,
Now that kind of adds up because Hogan still could have wrestled and moved too.
yeah, he was still cut. Yeah, he didn't he do something in '07?
Yeah, he did a little thing with what the great Khali on that Raw 15th anniversary show. He came in and fought Khali for a minute because he made the save for Hornswoggle. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Yeah, yeah, I think I am
Um,
remembering that.
yeah, but like I said, his last match really that I'm aware of that he got physical in was in TNA, and it was
Yeah, it was
Sting versus
against Sting.
it was a match against Sting at Bound for Glory 2011. And plus, I think the following year they did a house show. Excuse me. They did a house show for TNA in London. And I think it was a 6-man tag match. And I can't remember who. I definitely know Sting was a part of the match. I believe James Storm was a part of the match too. And it was Hogan. So it was Hogan, Sting, and James Storm against Bobby Roode, Bubba Bully Ray, and someone else. I can't remember who the partner was. I apologize for that, but I cannot remember for the life of me. But it was a 6-man tag match in London, and Hogan came out to Eye of the Tiger, and that place erupted
Yeah,
when he did that. But yeah, his last physical match was definitely TNA Bound for Glory 2011. And I guess,
yeah.
like I said, there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot to talk about TNA because there was some
There was a
good,
lot of negative.
not
There
a
was a
bad.
lot of negative. Like I think someone brought up earlier. Remember when he made fucking his daughter the GM of the Knockouts, basically?
Oh God, yeah, Brooke, yeah, that's a whole different story too. Because apparently Hogan took money from her during that too. That's a rumor too. So we're not going to talk about that right now, but still, yeah, but it's the TNA stuff does not hold up too well. It's just from what TNA was when Hogan and Bischoff came in. It's just like,
Yeah, it
God.
just changed, and that really bad storyline where Abyss, he made like Abyss's protege,
Oh God.
gave him the
AJ was
fucking
Rick.
Hall of Fame ring. Yeah,
AJ was Rick's protege. It was so bad. Oh my
yeah,
God, it was so bad.
yeah. Hogan gave Abyss like his Hall of Fame ring from WWE, and it gave him like superpowers. It was bad, dude. It was terrible.
Yeah. But talking about there is one positive about TNA. At least Tim and Macho Man there was rumors him and Macho Man were gonna fight. Because here's the rumor. We're gonna talk about this and move on from the different thing. They try to get Macho to come into TNA during this time period. And apparently
Yeah.
Hogan and Mach still had their beef going on. So apparently Macho friggin' like challenged Hogan to a fight in the parking lot at Universal Studios. I can't help but to laugh. But he's like, he challenged me to a fight. Or someone reported there, he challenged him to a fight. And he's like, Hogan was apologizing, like, Randy, I'm sorry, brother, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And you know, he didn't accept it at the time, but apparently like a few months later when they saw each other at a doctor's office, which was kind of random, but they made up. So at least that's one positive, a positive. He
Yeah.
made up with somebody. He made up with Warrior too before he passed away, which
Mhm.
I think that was more gaga because the cameras were there. Because apparently when he died, he didn't like Hogan didn't send flowers or anything to the family or anything like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And that came out of Dana Warrior's own mouth, so he didn't even send us nothing. It was just one of those things like, publicly, I'm sorry, but personally, I don't care kind of ordeal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think honestly, Trey, there's really nothing else to talk about. Just thoughts and prayers to
Yeah.
Hogan
His
and
family.
his friends and
Yeah.
family, and I can only imagine what they're going through right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm still in shock. It's really not hitting me. It's not really hitting me like
Not fully
Hogan.
hitting me yet.
Yeah,
Because I'm still fucking reeling from Ozzy. So.
yeah, dude, yeah. Ozzy Osbourne passing this past week. Not even
And then
48 hours.
Theo from from the Cosby Show died on
Yeah.
Monday. It's like, what is this week?
Yeah, dude. Yep, I know. It's crazy it is crazy what's going on in the world today. It's nuts. It really is. Like, if you had told me that Hulk Hogan, Theo, and Ozzy would pass within the same like week, I would be like, man, you're high off your
Yeah,
ass.
I
You know what
would
I mean?
think you're lying. Yeah, like all in the same week. It's like,
Yeah.
no.
But Trey, before we close up, you got any more closing thoughts before we move on? Before we
Well, just fuck the people going at him.
mhm.
But yeah, that's it. Hogan's a legend. Whatever you think of him. R.I.P. That's all I really got.
Yep, and my closing statement is the biggest star wrestling's ever seen. Without Hulk Hogan, I don't think there'll be a lot of us here watching wrestling or
No,
watched wrestling or still currently watching wrestling if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. Hogan
there'd be
did.
no Attitude Era. Probably be no Vince character.
Yeah, there would definitely be no Vince. There would definitely be no WWE without Hulk Hogan. He revolutionized professional wrestling. He was the biggest star the wrestling's ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Two of my
Uh,
favorites of all time. Let's be real, got a push because Hogan did the turn, and the
yep,
NWO started kicking their ass in ratings.
yep, and and Hogan was definitely he was a mega star, man. Like I said, positively or negatively, you can never erase that. Hogan was and is still the biggest star in wrestling history. And a lot of
Yeah,
people, like Trey said, has been celebrating his death. I think it's pretty sickening. I think it's disgusting.
I want
And
them to do something to themselves in Minecraft. I'll leave it at that.
I'll just leave it at this. I'm not trying to be all spiritual and, preaching to people. So, we all believe what we would believe, but karma's real. Karma is definitely real. My personal belief is there is a God. And honestly, I'm going to let God sort those people out because that's that's his thing. Let him do the whole judgment thing of people. Yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to preach to people. It's like, oh, let me push you. What do I believe? But I believe there is a God. Karma is real. So reap what you sow. Try to do good among your fellow human beings. You know what I mean? Treat everyone with respect. Try to love each other's differences, and don't be don't be celebrating people's deaths. It's pretty
no,
scumbag and it's sickening.
it's fucked up because then it
Yeah,
leaves you open for people to do it with you if you die.
yeah, and like I said, karma's real and it comes back tenfold. So just be mindful of that. 'Cause trust me, I know people push my limits every day, and I wake up, and trust me, I'm just like fuck these people. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
I'm just leave it at that. I'm not gonna say anything else. Like that. Like that get us in trouble. I'm just leave it at that. Just yeah, just be respectful to his family. Be respectful to his fans, especially his family and friends, and the fans of Hogan. Don't be belittling. Don't be at him on Twitter. And I'm not saying this guy, you guys in chat or nothing. I'm just saying in general, people in general, don't be doing that shit. It's sickening. It's wrong. And karma's real and it comes back tenfold. My only
yep,
closing thoughts is rest in peace to arguably the biggest star of wrestling history. And that's all I got to say about that. And we're going to play a clip and we're going to get out of here. So, guys, thank you very much for being here to
yep.
celebrate Hogan, sharing your guys' memories. We will be back as of right now. We'll be back on Saturday.
Back on Saturday.
News.
Yeah.
We may.
I think I'll spoil one thing we should talk about for Saturday. I'm gonna go in on the goat fuck Daniel Bryan. So let's leave it at that.
Yeah, and there might be also news about Hogan's freestyle stuff with Eric
Yeah,
Bischoff.
hopefully. Yeah.
That was supposed to happen. I can't remember the exact date, so forgive me, but it was supposed to happen pretty soon in Cleveland, Ohio. It was supposed to be freestyle wrestling. I don't know what's going to happen now. If they're going to cancel it, if they're going to reimburse people, I don't know. But yeah. But on that note, guys, thanks for being here, and we will definitely see you guys on Saturday. If you guys are new here, cheap plug. I know this is very bad to say, but cheap plug. If you're new here, subscribe, like the channel, and you like the content you saw today, or you like the other past live streams that we've done, videos, share them out with your friends. And yeah, guys, we'll see you guys Saturday. Until then, take care. God bless y'all, and see y'all Saturday.
Yeah. See y'all Saturday.
I'd like to say that on behalf